Greetings of peace, happy holidays, and I'm glad to be here with you and ShuraTV. I hope you are doing well. As you can see, I am wearing my mask, but there's no one here, so I will be taking it off to conduct the show. I wanted to first express my gratitude for ShuraTV for having me on again, and I hope that you and your families and everyone else, your extended families, are doing well, and you're keeping well, and you're keeping safe, and you're keeping healthy. It is very important for us at this time and at this juncture to definitely be aware of what's going on around us, and to be aware of this COVID virus, which has increased again, and for us to make sure we wear our masks. Wherever you go outside of the house, outside of the people that you live with, it's very important that you take precautions and you wash your hands and you keep social distancing and you wear your masks. These masks have proven to decrease transmission by up to 40 to 50%. So it's very important. It protects you and it protects others, and it protects your elderly family members, and it decreases the transmission of the virus. Currently, as you see, different parts of the world, they're in lockdown. Whether you look to Europe, you look here in the U.S., we have staggering numbers. We'll get into that later. But it's a time that we have to kind of buckle down and make sure that we take all the precautions necessary so we don't get ill and others don't get ill around us. Furthermore, now I'd like to take this off. Since there's nobody around me within 6 feet, and I am at the studio. Furthermore, it's very important that we all take into account that we'll see different types of messaging around about COVID-19 and controversial or exceptional messages that go against the majority grain or the majority of the scientific findings. And we should follow the mainstream scientific findings. It's very important. We don't want to follow careless media outlets that say things like, oh, not wearing a mask or not taking precautions or not following curfews is a liberty or it's a constitutional right. Of course, we're all living here in the United States of America. We respect the Constitution. We respect each other's rights to having a safe life, having liberty, justice, and freedom for everybody. But at the same time, we don't want to harm anyone. And we don't want this virus to get too close to us, specifically as nowadays there's not many people out there that don't know someone that has got the COVID-19 virus. So it's a very important topic, and it's here and it's present, and we need to acknowledge it. The virus doesn't care if you're rich, poor, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, agnostic, whatever you are. The virus doesn't care. The virus will go around if you're not taking precautions and get to you. So it's very important that you take your precautions and protect yourself, your family, your loved ones, your society, your co-workers, anyone that you come in contact with. And basically, that's a message that we have to keep in mind here in this winter. We're here in the end of November here. The holidays are happening. Everybody's home. Everybody wants to visit friends, family, loved ones. People want to travel. The CDC, as you know, the Centers for Disease Control, have offered advice, and they've said that you should limit your contacts, limit your travels, and kind of, just take this one and stay home and do what they call a staycation, where you're staying home and vacationing. Fortunately, it is a time that people vacation, so you have time to just spend with the family and stay home. Do activities that are outdoors. Outdoor activities are 20 to 30% less likely to cause any kind of viral transmission, specifically if you're in fresh air. And also, if you're indoors, you have to ventilate your home, your houses, your apartments, wherever you are. It's very important to do that. If you have someone that doesn't live with you come over, make sure you ventilate the house and keep a window or door open so that there is circulation, and you don't want to get that virus load up. So these are things that are just precautionary. It's nothing to be feared. We have the scientists, we have our leadership in the communities. They've told us what to do and what not to do, and it's important that we follow those rules and regulations. Yes, it's sometimes trendy not to follow these things and gather around together and say, hey, we're going to go against the mayor's edict to stay home or curfew, this and that. Rebellion is, it might seem attractive, but in the end, all it's doing is causing harm to society. And we as individuals that are intelligent should be cognizant of that. It's very important in this time, especially if we look at the statistics, in the US alone, there's over 12.5 million cases now. And every day there's more than 1,500 deaths that have been reported in the last week. So it's very important that we try to curb this and we flatten that curve and get back on track and decrease the number of infections. And the only way we can do that, as the doctors and the hospitals are telling us, is that practice social distancing, wash your hands, wear your masks when you're going out, don't have any gatherings of 10 people or more. When you do have a gathering outdoors, don't have more than 3 families, and keep your distance. It's very important, and this has to be taken seriously. Fortunately, there are good vaccines coming out. There are good vaccines that have been with the FDA now, and they're about to get cleared for distribution. We have several different types of vaccines, but 5 of them right now are on the verge of getting approved and okayed for distribution. The distribution channels of the vaccines, we don't know. Typically in the US, there's about 100 million people every year that get the flu vaccine, and those distribution channels are open. And the administration has assigned a 4-star general to be in charge of the distribution of the vaccine. And I think the first responders, hospital workers, and people at the hospitals and seniors are going to be the first ones to get the vaccines. That's going to be the distribution. And after that, it's going to be other essential workers and so on. But those vaccines are coming. I think in the month of December, they've said that there's about 40 million coming out. As you know, the companies, Pfizer, Moderna, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Novavax, they're the ones that are at the cusp of the curve. They're ahead, and they're going to be coming out with that. And all of them have exemplified 70 to 90% efficacy. So that's great. And a couple of them need 2 doses as well. So that's coming up. There's good news. It's if you imagine that we're in a football game, we've just passed halftime. We're in the 3rd quarter. The 3rd quarter is going to be a little tough. It's winter. The weather's cold. People are getting the flu concurrently, and they're trying to protect themselves from the coronavirus. So it's very important that we try to curb that and keep ourselves safe. The vaccines, again, will be out. All the vaccines have a mechanism of increasing what they call the viral neutralizing antibody. So when you get the vaccine, it increases the antibodies in the body, and they don't know the long-term immunity. They know that it will provide immunity for a certain amount of time. They don't know how long. So again, the vaccines are there. They're coming about, and they'll be starting distribution in December, January, February, March, April. And they hope that by mid-2021 that they get at least 100 million doses or more administered to the population. So that's good news. That's awesome. Thank God that that's happening. But in the meantime, we have to kind of buckle down and be strong and take care of things. Many people have seen now that in the US, at least, we've just gone through an election, and more than 140 million people have voted, which is in the midst of a pandemic. We had the highest turnout of people voting in history. So that's something of an accomplishment, and that has happened. And we have a new administration coming in, and they're very serious about this pandemic, and they want to take care of it. But we too have to do our part. We have to remain positive. We have to help our children, our co-workers, our family members, especially our elderly family members. We need to make sure that they're taken care of, and we go shopping for them, we buy them groceries, and we limit them from going out into public spheres where they're exposed to the virus. It's very important that we do that, and it's very important that everyone helps one another. One of the edicts of Islam, very important, is what you want for yourself, you want for your brother. It's the golden rule. So all of us want to live thriving lives and disease-free lives, and have an environment where we feel safe. That's very important. And in order for us to do that, we must want for others what we want for ourselves. God forbid you get the virus. It's not the end of the world. There are protocols. Doctors, ERs, hospitals have gotten better at treating it. The death rate has dropped significantly. So there's things that you can do there, but see your doctor, talk to them, and take care of yourself, and isolate and quarantine. It's not the end of the world, but the point is that we need to curb it. We don't know the long-term effects of this virus in the body. There are some clinical things that happen later on as well. So it's important that you protect yourself. The number one thing is to protect yourself, quarantine yourself, and also be mindful of others. You're not doing this only for yourself, but you're also doing it for other people. I know that a lot of the congregations, our Friday prayers have been sort of, they're being held outdoors. So it's important that you don't gather in many different settings that are indoors. I know dining in restaurants are also outdoors, and some of them have been, banned after 10 p.m. at night, because people that gather at that time, and later, tend to, get a little bit more complacent and they intermingle more. So because of that, there's a curfew. Let's follow it. There's no reason not to follow it. It's for our own good. So these kind of things we do, and we follow the law of the land that we're in, and we oblige so that society is protected. Typically, we see sometimes that there are people that you might see that aren't following the regulations and rules and recommendations. So it's important to kindly remind them. It's not a point of contention. It's not a point of arguing. It's not a point of fighting. It's just a point of, hey, we want to save lives. We don't want to cause any type of damage or any type of stress to others. So because of that, we oblige. It's very important to keep that in mind. I think also, for us as Muslims here in the United States, it's always important to keep a positive mindset. It's very important to always look at things from a positive angle, from an optic which shows us all the benefits. And of course, when there's tribulations and trials in life, we have to kind of dig in deep. I know that we get fatigued, we get tired, we get emotionally stressed. You might have problems with people living in your house with you. You see them all the time. You might have stresses that come about. But again, people who believe in God and have a higher purpose, they persevere with patience, with gratitude, and with hope. It's very important to keep your hope alive and know that this situation will pass, and it's not the end of the world. These things are getting taken care of slowly, but it's just a matter of having a little bit of patience and persevering and having fortitude and looking forward to the things in your life that make you happy, the plans that you have, the plans that you had. You might be staying home more often nowadays. You might be thinking of things that you can do. You could take up different hobbies that you've always wanted to do, but you never had time for. It's things like that'll keep you kind of fresh in terms of your mindset and in terms of your energy levels. And it's important also to take care of your health as well. It's very important. You want to get healthy meals in. You want to get exercise in. What you want to do is normal sleep patterns. You don't want to get into the pattern of staying up too late and then sleeping half the day. That's not healthy for the body or for the biological clock. the 24-hour diurnal clock of the body. So it's important to keep those things in mind. On a personal level, it's very important to keep yourself hydrated. If you're not getting enough nutrition through food, maybe supplement with vitamins D and vitamin C, and a multivitamin daily as well, some zinc. You can take herbs like kombucha, things that kind of increase the immune system and defenses. It's important to do these things. Take care of yourself. Self-care is important. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of others. So it's very important to take care of yourself first, and then look to others and see how you can take care of them. Work-life balance is important as well. A lot of people nowadays express that they're on the screens too much. They're getting too much screen time. And it's very important that we take breaks, because this screen time does affect our eyes, the blue light specifically, and then it also affects your mind as well. So it's very important to take a break, kind of limit your time, your children, if you have children, their time. It's not good for them to be on screens all day long. It's very, it's very rigorous on their eyes, and it actually weakens their eyes. Some opticians and optometrists have reported that a lot of people are getting weaker vision because they've been on these screens, the small screens, and they don't take care of themselves. So these kind of things are very important. Self-care is important. Take care of yourselves, take care of your bodies, take care of your health, take care of your spiritual side of things. If you're someone that was lacking in prayers, you can maybe make it an effort to make up all your prayers. Read more of the Quran, read more of your religious books, inspirational books, so that you can gain more wisdom in this time. Take advantage of the time you have. This time is not going to come back. And specifically, once you get back into the hustle and bustle of life and the busyness of work and school and things like that, then you won't have this extra time that you have nowadays. So it's very important to keep that in mind and take care of yourselves, and always remain positive. As we see, things are looking on the up and up. If you look ahead after this few couple of months that are here now, things are going to get better. There's going to be a vaccine out. The numbers will drop, and hopefully we can beat this virus and look ahead to our future endeavors for our lives. I think it's always important to be positive. There's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that said that if you're planting a tree and you know that the day of judgment's coming or your death is coming, plant it and have hope that get your work done, get your things done. Do it. Don't despair. Don't get sad. Don't fall into a depressive state. It's very important to keep yourself active and busy and goal-oriented and task-oriented. It's very important for you, your children, your family, your colleagues, whoever you have in your life. It's very important to do that. You can also, now you look around yourself, I was reading a statistic, there's about 25 million families nowadays that they're having a hard time with their food supply in the United States. So you can volunteer with these organizations that provide food and shelter for people. A lot of people nowadays are struggling to make ends meet, either rent, putting food on the table for themselves and their children. You can volunteer with these organizations and really make a difference in their lives, and it's very fulfilling for you as well, because you're helping your fellow human beings. That's very important. All these food pantries, everybody, they're looking for more help, whether it's donations or physical help or getting the word out, marketing for them. Whatever you can do, you can contribute in one way or another, and that is very fulfilling for the human being. You could, there's people that are suffering all over, and you can get in on an initiative and try to help them. And not only will you be helping yourself, but you're helping them, and it's an immense reward. So these are kind of things that were kind of important and on my mind to get out, and it's very important to keep that in mind. Look to be positive. Continue to keep yourself in a positive state. Don't let anyone drag your emotional state down. Be strong within yourselves, and we'll get through this, and we'll look forward to a COVID-free society soon. And as long as we take the precautions and the measures that are recommended to us, we should be safe, and nothing to stress about, nothing to get anxiety about, but it's just an action. Follow the actions and you'll get results and consequences that are positive. That's very important, and I hope with that we can keep those things in mind and move ahead. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always reach me, no problem, and I'm at your service. With that, I'd like to thank you and wishing you happy holidays and a good time with your immediate families. Stay safe, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.